Hey guys, this is John Manna from Worship Drummer. In this tutorial, I just want to show you the quickest method to inputting songs from a set list to get you ready to go in no time at all. First off, you want to make sure that you have inserted a battery. And the main reason you want to do that is, yes, you can play without power, but the real reason is because once you begin to store your set list using the memory function, that battery is what saves that memory to the metronome. And so without the battery, if you remove it, anything that you've programmed will be gone. And so that is the first thing you'd want to do. Next thing we're going to want to do is power it on. And we'll hit power. Now, if your drum booth is quite dark, you're going to want to hit this light button, but as you'll notice in just a few seconds, it doesn't last nearly as long as it needs to. And so what we'll do is, this is a trick that, by the way, is not known by many. We're going to hold down this light button and hit power, and then let go of the light button. And now it'll stay on for the entire time you're using the metronome, but we're not going to do that for this tutorial, so we'll go ahead and turn it off. Alright, so now that we have that, we're powered on, we've made sure our battery's there, we're going to hit start. And there's no sound. And so one of the first things we want to know is, assuming a 4/4 time signature, you're going to see that on the downbeat, on the 1, this will flash red, and then on every other quarter note, the other one will flash. And so let's get our master volume up about 75%, and you'll see it's digitized right here. Then we're going to add an accent so we can really hear that 1. And I usually put it full volume, and there's our quarter note. And if you want some subdivisions, you can add to the mix your 8th note, your 16th notes, or if you want that triplet feel, you can add a little triplet. Alright, so let's just reset that. And now we're going to take it from the perspective of setting up your metronome for a set list. So we're just going to pick 2 songs for the purpose of this tutorial. And we're picking Elevation Worship's Unstoppable God. And that's a BPM of 132. And the second song that our worship leader has given us is We Glorify Your Name from Passion, and that's at 70 beats per minute. And so this is my go-to method to quickly get everything ready so that I don't leave the band waiting at a rehearsal. And so this is what we do. So let's just power it off. Here we go. This is a real live situation, and I'm going to show you what it is that I do. So we're going to power it on. Again, I'm not using the light feature just because I'm in a well-lit room. And then first thing I always do is BPM. So we said Unstoppable God is number 1 at 132. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is, we're on memory bank 1. And so we're going to go ahead and hit tempo, and then you'll see it flash. And so we're going to just turn our dial to 132. And the next thing that I like to do is, I don't like voice 1, to be honest, so let's just get our volumes here. I always want the accent. I'm obviously wanting every quarter note, and because it's a fast song, we want to stay in the pocket. Let's just add a little bit of the 8th note. And so that's voice 1. We don't use this sound at my church because we don't like it, so we just hit voice, and you see it flash, and then number 2. And that's the one that is our default go-to sound. But when we first introduced this click to our band, believe it or not, I was leading worship,
and 3 and 4 and 5
and our drummer couldn't stay on beat, so he used the voice.
2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2.
Alright, so we're going to change the voice back to 2, and that's pretty much how I need it to sound. Now how I save it is this. I hit memory, and you'll notice memory's flashing, and this is my first song, so I'll leave it at number 1. And so I want to save it exactly as it is. So I'll hit memory, make sure it's flashing, right, and then is it number 1? Yes. So I'll save it again. So you hit memory, right, right. That's the quick method. Right? So to switch to number 2 in the memory bank, I hit memory, and I'll go to number 2. So right, oh no, we're back to our default sound. So remember, first thing is BPM. So we glorify your name is in 70 BPM, beats per minute. And so I'm just gonna go ahead, hit tempo, and everything that you hit will correspond on the screen. So tempo makes the beats per minute flash, and I'm gonna lower that quickly to 70 as such. And again, I always check next after the BPM, the tempo is set. I always make sure the voice is set to voice 2. So there it goes, it's flashing, voice 2. I'll lower the setting for this subdivision of the 8th note. Quarter note is pretty good where it's at. And so I'm gonna go ahead and hit memory. Now it's flashing up there, right, and right, and then it blinks quickly to show that it's been saved, and that's right where I need it. And so now here's the big thing, how do we switch in a live setting? So now we've put everything in our bank, we want to double check, so we hit memory and it's flashing up there, and then you just jog through. So number 1, it's saved, 132, it's voice 2, these settings are there, as well as number 2 now in my memory bank, 70 BPM, voice 2, and that's about where I need it. So I'm gonna go ahead, and in a live setting, I always leave it on the memory feature. So here's our song, we're playing, we end it, and all you have to do now, because memory is flashing, is turn this knob, and you're done. You don't even have to stop it. Now, in the event that I'm playing live and I can't hear what's going on, and I want to add something else, you'll notice it's locked in and you can't really change anything. And that's because it's set to memory. So the quickest way I know how to do it is you hit tempo, and then that frees everything up again on the fly. So now what happens if we hit memory and we go back, you'll notice it did not save it, and so because we didn't hit right. So that's something on the fly. If I'm playing this fast song and I'm like, wow, I really need to hear some 16th notes, I hit tempo, add them in however I need it, or I need more 8th notes, however you want to do it, you're good. Go to your next song, see that? Oh, that's going to change your tempo. You got to make sure that you press memory again, and then you can jog between the two, and they're exactly how you programmed it initially. So that's in a nutshell how I'll set it up for myself. One more thing that I'll say is, let's go to the faster one. We were finding sometimes when the drummer was off the click or the band was getting off, we would kill it and come back in on time, but the problem was waiting for the 1 with the accent, and sometimes we would come in on beat 3, and the accent would then be on beat 3. So the easiest way to fix that type of thing is you hit beat and pattern, and we're gonna go to 1, and all that simply means is it's a bar of 1 quarter note, and so the accent will hit on every single quarter note. You can still add your subdivisions. So see that accent, quarter note. And so what we found is, we're playing a song, oh, we're going off, we stop it, come back in, and you don't have to wait for that 1 downbeat again. So that, in a nutshell, is how we use it. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Happy to help you figure it out. Of course, there are many more features, but this is the quickest way you can get yourself set up and ready to go. And then, of course, at the end of it all, if you're at a rehearsal, you want to make sure that you've written all of your BPMs, all your settings, and they're all in place. So I always make a last final check. 132 voice 2, that's about where I keep it. And we're at 70, so that looks good. Even if I power it on, you see that it still opens up right where it was. Hit memory again, and you cycle through. Alright, so I hope that this tutorial has been of help to you to make your playing simple and for you to understand better your Boss DB90. So thanks for watching. This is John Manna for Worship Drummer.